afraid to have an English version. It's a bit gloomy because at the time I had a friend who was very serious depressive, and he's still alive now, and I think a lot less depressed in these days. But at that time was very much likely to commit suicide at any time. And I went off to France when it turned out he had a tummy bug and was spending his time in the loo, but I couldn't get him on the phone, and I always thought he was probably going to be dying if I couldn't get him on the phone. And I was in France, so I didn't know what to... So this was written for somebody who, as I say, I thought was probably dying, but in fact was simply in the loo. Sous cette pluie dans la nuit, j'ai froid au cœur, je frissonne de peur. Où es-tu? Que fais-tu, mon ami silencieux? Je voudrais te parler un moment pour dire adieu. Quand j'avais froid autrefois, c'était toi qui m'as réchauffé. Et maintenant, te voilà froide. Mais tu as peur de la chaleur et ne sais point te réchauffer. Peut-être toute seule tu meurs, et toute seule je te pleure sous cette pluie infinie. As I say, he wasn't dying at all. And the other one is just a sort of romantic view of the weather and the French scenery, actually. And as I say, I did rewrite it later. I think it's in here, if I can look, in English. We'll do it in French first. It's called L'Orage. La montagne est devenue amoureuse du ciel, et dont les éléments nous ont oubliés. Les nuages gris sont descendus chez elle, lui ont caché la tête et voilé les pieds. Là-haut, bien au-delà de nos oreilles, ils ont fait de l'amour, le ciel et sa montagne. Ici dans la vallée, il n'y a pas de soleil. Même la rivière se tait et le monde s'éloigne. Écoute, mon cher, fais pas de bruit. Le ciel a pleuré et ses larmes tombent sur les arbres comme la pluie. La montagne est devenue amoureuse du ciel et dont les éléments nous ont oubliés. Les nuages gris sont descendus chez elle, lui ont caché la tête et voilé les pieds. Do it in English, which is not exactly a translation, I just rewrote it in English. The mountain has fallen in love with the wide imperturbable sky and has summoned the clouds to shroud her face from our eyes. Behind the grey cloud curtains, ragged and rent by the storm, they have made love, the sky and his mountain. Here in the Coombe all is still, even the river is silent, and the pain of the world recedes and darkens. Listen, my love, hush and hearken, the sky is weeping and his tears fall on the trees as rain. My English version of it. Tribute to UK authors. Oh yes, I was going to announce this. UK authors is spelt UK authors, all one word, .com. It is .com, isn't it? Yeah. And it is actually a wonderful site for people who want to write and who are perhaps a bit isolated and would like to get feedback or simply just encouragement to write things, because you can always post every week, twice a week. They have general posting, anybody can post anything, and other people do or don't comment. And also once a week, which is John's one over there, John organises it. What's it? What's the proper term for your job on that?
I moderate it.
He moderates it, that's right.
Although I don't have to.
No. It's every week somebody suggests a word. In the beginning, John suggested a word, and the idea was anybody who wanted to could write a poem involving that. And at the end of the week,
and
he
prose
picked his...
piece.
And prose pieces,
piece,
yes, sorry.
350 words.
Yeah, 350 words for prose and 40 lines for poetry. And at the end of the week, he would read them all through and decide which was his favourite, and that person then had to... Oh, they get a golden egg, which is generated by the computer, but they can't actually eat it. And they then have to provide a word or a phrase for next week, and then at the end of the week they choose their favourite piece of prose or poetry, and that person writes one. And it's been going ages now, hasn't it?
Very good idea. I stole it from another site.
Well, it is a very good idea.
It's good.
Because it's actually amazing how often it makes you write about something that you think you never would. Sometimes somebody puts a word there and I look at that word and I think, it couldn't possibly write anything about that. That's ridiculous. And 2 days later I find something seeping into my mind. It sort of infects you. And you do finish up writing something. We've had some lovely things on it, haven't we?
And it's not a quality competition as such, it's what the person
It's
likes
what that
best.
person likes, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
It can be silly or stupid. Or...
Yeah. Well, a lot of them are very funny ones, aren't they? There's always a big strain of comedy through it.